guys, the AIRSOFTEK here. So today I wanted to do a little video on how to shim your gears or shim your gearbox and all that. That's something, in my opinion, really important to be at least decent at. So yeah, why shimming your gearbox? Well, you have those shims and they have to mesh well together. You don't want them, if they are too close together, they will stick, and it will cause friction. So, with a snappy SFPS, wear damage, and all that stuff. And if they are too loose, you lose power. So, which means the same thing, so that's really important if you want to have your guns work as it should. You need to shim your gears. So first thing first, there's numerous different ways of doing it. Personally, I start with that guy, which is the spur gear. And by the way, for the build I'm using 40-1 ZCI gears, short stroke 2 teeth. So if you don't know what is short stroke, that means I remove 2 teeth on my piston and I remove 2 teeth on my gear, so it just cycles faster. And anyway, I have a ported cylinder because I have a 285mm, and then with that cylinder, that's already a bigger air volume than necessary. So I'm already in over volume situation right now. So if you don't know what it means, well, I might do a video later on it, whatever. But so yeah, just cycle faster. Semi-auto is much snapper and all that, and full auto, of course, is a little bit faster. So yeah, so I'm always starting with this spur gear because I want it as low as possible in the gearbox, so that gives me more range for those two guys on height. So first thing, you put them in this slot and you try to push on it and turn it. So as you can see, it's not moving, it grabs on everything and all that, so that happens. So what I'm trying to do is just put a 0.1 shim, because like I said, I want it as low as possible. And now I push on it, I turn, and it's still grabbing a little bit. So I'm just gonna grab 1.5. As you can see, I tried to turn it and you see already the wear damage. But now it's moving freely, so with that 1.5 in there, that's good. Perfect. So now I want to go with the barrel gear, and I want to check if that needs more height. For what I see, it is really close together, but I think I'm good. I'm gonna push on it. Good. Yeah. So I don't need to put shims under it. So that's good for that guy. And now I'm gonna take a sector gear and I'm gonna try to check if I need to adjust the height. catchy, it's heavy, so I need to add more weight. So I'm gonna throw, I think that's a 0.2. Because I'm gonna do that there. So now it's free spinning in there, you know, so yeah, that's good. So I have a 1.5 on there. I'm just gonna grab some super glue, grab some kind of grease to let those guys are staying there, so you know I can manipulate my gears, and they just, you know, stay in there. So 1.5 here, 2. Yeah, that's super smooth. I'm just gonna do a small dab too. It doesn't have any shim, but we've done smoother. So everything is smooth. So now I just have to adjust the height. So now you put your gearbox casing in it, and you put like 3 screws. 3 screws on there like that. And then we're gonna see the height between the bearings or the bushings, whatever you get. Those are bearings. And if possible, you know, always keep bearing on that guy on the bottom, which is the bevel gear, because this thing turns really fast compared to those two. So you know we want it really smooth. Those two guys, you can put bushing on them, but those are better. That guy are better with bearing. That's why you see some gearbox that have 1 bearing and 2 bushings on top. So now we're just gonna check. So it's smooth. Now I'm shaking, as you can hear. Those guys are moving, which means we need to know which one need more shims or whatever. So you know, I'm just pushing on the bottom of the shaft of the gear, like so. I'll try to do that on cam. Do you see it moving? That needs a lot of shims. That other guy, a lot of shims too. That guy, a lot of shims too. So those gears in that APS gearbox needs a lot of shims. So I'm gonna do right off the bat with some thick boy, because you know, of course I can stack, you know, 0.1s on them, but you know, I don't want to have, you know, like 20 shims on a gearbox. So as that as possible is the best, because you know, if you, after that you excuse me, if after that you know you have to do repair or maintenance on your gearbox, you know, you don't want to have too much shims in anyway. That's not, I mean, I don't think there's a problem with, you know, just using 0.1s or whatever, but that's me personally. I don't. that, you know, if I know I have to, you know, like 0.4, 0.5 or 0.6 mils, I'm just gonna go right off with thick boy. So I'm using thicker shims. I'm gonna put one in each. And I'm gonna check after that what it looks like. And the height, you see the shaft coming out of the bearing is a good indication of, you know, how much you need. So, you know, after you do that a couple of times, you can get the picture, get the idea of like, yeah, you know, I need around that thickness and all that. So those are the I put 3 screws on there, and when it's, I think, to look if it's perfect, I'm gonna put one more in top just in case, to make sure everything is really squared up and tight together. So as you can see, there's still guys that need more shims. So that's pretty tight, That guy, AIRSOFTEK gear. Need a little bit more. But those two guys are not that bad, actually. And as you can see, you know, it's super smooth, you know. And when I was saying, you know, that guy on the bottom spin faster than the others, you can see it by how fast it's spinning compared to that guy. And that guy right there is not spinning a lot. Of course, it doesn't have any tension on it, but and when you want to check, spin it. You know, I know it spin that way, but always do it the other way, because sometimes the higher gears grab in that direction. So those two are good. And after that, I'm just gonna have to stick the motor in it and watch if that guy is at the right height. And then it's gonna be pretty much it for the shimming. So I will go with like a 1.5 like that. Probably gonna need one more, but when you buy a shim set, try to have a different height of shim, because like I said, if you do, you know, like I put 0.25, 0.25, so now you have to put on each right off the bat. So you know, if you use 0.1, you have to put like 5 of them. So 5, 5, 5, and that was 1.5. There's a little bit of movement, but really not much. On the spur gear can have one more to like a 0.1 or something. I think that's the thing that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to know, because with bearings, you know, you kind of want to have a little bit of loose on them. Don't want them too tight. but those are a little bit too loose. I just have to add a little bit more. Not much, you know, but this is almost perfect. But if you shake it and you hear rattle, that's not a good sign. So I'm gonna grab super small shims, one on each. And like I said, for now, this is, you know, my probably the last time I checked, so I put one more on top. Just to make sure, you know, everything is, not I have enough pressure, but I have equally pressure. That's like square around it. So we'll tight the gearbox. There's still a little bit of movement. And that's super smooth. Check that guy in there. So that that guy at the bottom that needs probably a small 0.1 or something. 0.15, some shit like that. So I'm gonna throw it on the bottom, just to make sure they have enough height on that. Maybe not. I have to check with them one or two, but those two guys up there are perfectly fine, perfectly shim. So I'm just now I have to put the motor to check with that gear right there. So you see, that's why we like having grease and they kind of all bend together. Now I just need my motor. So what you do when you're at that point, basically, you know, you just put your motor into your pistol grip without all those wires and all that stuff. Put the motor in there and you tighten it. Now you have the end of your motor sticking out, so you can check you know how it fits inside you. How it fits with your gears. don't know, you can really see it, but you know, you have to kind of check the height between those two. For what I've seen, you know, putting a 0.1 would be just perfect. So the height I need on that guy just gonna be at the bottom. So that's pretty much it. So you know, I just got small guy like that. Let's put a dab on it. Screws one last time, and it's probably gonna be fine. And a good thing too about putting a little dab of oil in there, it's no, but that's kind of sticky oil, you know. So that's a little bit sticky. You really have, you know, like oil really like watery. That's maybe not gonna be stick that much, but at least give a little bit of lubricant, so you know when you test them, you know, it just go smoother and all that stuff. So now it's super smooth. You know, nothing's shaking. But I can see it still got a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it, but so I'm just gonna put something just a little bit thicker, and I'm gonna check with the motor if I need it under or over. Normally I'm using, you know, like an electric screwdriver for that, but right now his battery is dead, so that's a bit annoying for you, I guess. But I'm gonna try to check if so you kind of hold the gear down and you put your motor in. So if you feel like it's trying to lift it up, that means you need just a little bit more shims in there, and that's almost perfect, but just trying to lift it a little bit. So I might just put a super small boy like that, small 0.1, and that's gonna be perfect. Well, I'm just gonna close and check just to make sure, you know, it's not too tight. But for the motor, I know that's gonna be perfect if that fits perfectly and they all mesh together. know some people start right off the bat with that guy. That's a way of doing it. Make sure your motor and your pinion gear and your bevel gear mesh well together. You know, that's a really good idea. But me personally, I just want to. I like starting with that guy because I want to already know what height of margin I have with that build. So as you can see, that's butter smooth. I do the other side, not super smooth. No shaking, no clack clack clack. You know, they are just a little bit, just not super tight on there. So which is just perfect for those wood bearings. You know, if you have bushing, you can tighten them just a little bit more at 0.5, close to be too much stuck together. But with those guys, you kinda want to leave 0.05 mil because bearings are, that will just put more stress on those small block bearings, and they will just, first of all, explode eventually. But that might happen even if it's because QC and all that stuff, but you will have those problems way faster because they're not gonna have the same stress on it and all that stuff. So, oh yeah, so that's super smooth. Of course, those are the bearings that comes with the gearbox. So those are not G-cage bearing or not 5 cm bearing or whatever. But everything is smooth, and I just put one drop on each end of the shaft, so all the gears are not necessarily gears and all that stuff. So yeah, so that was pretty much it. That was as you can see, it just goes well in there. I don't have really a lot of grip, and in those gearbox, you don't have a place to check, really check your AOE. If you check, like a Ronex gearbox, you have one on the back, you have one in the front. So if you put your motor in there, which doesn't want to do that at all. Yeah, so that motor grip is not liking that gearbox at all, or that gearbox doesn't like that motor grip. But anyway, but at least you have those small windows to check if it mesh well together. But in that case, you have to do it, gearbox open, and you put weight on it, and you try to feel, if it tried to lift that guy up or not. So yeah, that was pretty much it. This is pretty much how I shim a gearbox. You might see other ways of doing it. Some people I know start with that guy right off the bat. After that, and all that stuff. And if you shim a gearbox, if you build a new gun or working in a gun or whatever, make sure you check your AOE. Make sure you check all the parts compatibility and all that stuff, and try not to explode your gun. And if you are not sure, how much tight it should be, just check it. It needs to be super smooth. If you try to spin it and you feel resistance, that might be because those gears are just too much, like stuck together. So you just put a little bit of shim under it to just release it, and then it changes, go freely and smooth. But first time if you've never done that before, you can just guess or whatever, you can just draw it. But a good way of doing it too is by like a new set of gears, the cheapest you can buy, or just use old gears, even if they are not brand new or whatever, and buy a cheap gearbox, the cheapest one you can get at like even if it's used, like I said, and you can just practice, and try, and like having how can I say that, practice gun, that you can pull apart, and trying things and all that stuff. That's really how you should learn, because videos are videos. I can just put a couple of shims there and say yeah that's perfect, and then show a gun completely assembled and shoot with it, and yeah, see that's good. But you have to be just have to be a little bit careful, because sometimes you have some bullshit on YouTube and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you learned something. If not, well, I'm sorry, I guess. But yeah, and go there, make your gun the best. Go out there, outrange, outperform everybody. That's so much more fun. And if you have a small budget, tight budget, just buy a gun, and then buy 1, 2, 3 parts, and buy parts, and then when you have everything, you just put it together and all that stuff. And, I might do a video about I always talk too much. So that was the AIRSOFTEK. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you learned something, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.